The Vatek EZDent I Quick Start Video Manual, Chapter 3D, the Viewing tab, Changing Layouts. In this presentation, the objectives will be to utilize the Changed Layout feature for modalities including panorama, cephalometric, intraoral sensor, as well as intraoral camera. To view the changed layout feature of the EZDent I software, let's navigate up and left-click on Viewer tab. From here, let's go ahead and do a search for a patient that has images in his or her chart. We'll work with Peggy, and I'll left-click on Search, verify this is the correct patient by double-clicking, and then from here, I can then also verify the patient by chart number, name, as well as her age. We have the most current acquired image in our workspace with all other images in the thumbnail view along the bottom of the window. In this first example, to change my format, what I'm going to do is left click on Change Layout. I'm going to choose two images, one above and below, left click on OK, and then from here decide what images from my thumbnail view do I want to populate in these two frames. In this case here, for a panorama, which would be ideal for this, I'm going to left click, drag it up into my workspace at the top, left click on the second panorama image, and drag it into the frame at the bottom. I now have my panorama images lined up above and below, ideal for a before and after treatment plan. To view it in a presentation mode, simply double click your mouse and then double click again to get back to your menu bar. In this next example, I want to bring two cephalometric images, in this case here, side by side rather than above and below. To do that, I'm going to left click on Change Layout, click on 2 by 1 here, and then left click on OK. From here, I'm then going to choose what images I want to use from my thumbnail view. I'll use this PA-Ceph and left click and drag it into place on the right hand side, and then left click on my lateral cephalometric image, left click, and then drop it into the left hand side. And again, if I double click, it brings me into my presentation mode. If I double click again, it brings me back to my menu. In my next example, I'm going to bring up intraoral sensor images in an FMX mount. To do that, let's search for a patient that has intraoral images. I'll type in Jane, specify the Jane chart that I want to access, in this case here, Jane Doe, and then left click at the bottom of the screen. I can see a series of periapical and bite wing images in my thumbnail view along the bottom of the screen. I can also verify that I'm in the correct patient chart by identifying the chart number, patient name, and age. I'm now going to navigate to the opposite corner of the software and left click on Change Layout. From here, I'll look at the tabs along the top of the screen and left click on I/O Sensor. And then from here, choose which FMX mount layout I want to choose. In this case here, I'll do the I/O sensor with 10 FMX images. I double click on this, and then from there, it automatically populates it based on tooth number. In my last example, I'm going to bring up extraoral photograph images taken with a digital camera. To do that, let's search for a patient that has those images, and I'm going to type in Mark Johnson. I found Mark, left click on OK, and the next thing I want to do then is change my layout along the left hand side. Now let's go to our intraoral camera, click on the FMX mount that we want to use, and then left click on OK. I can either use the intraoral camera mount, or if I also want to change it to my digital LSR images, I can change my layout once again, click on Default, click on DSLR, and then select OK. It will then populate it with my intraoral photographs. From here, if I double click again, I go into a presentation mode, If I wish to view a single image within this mount, I can simply double click on that image and brings me into a presentation mode. To exit out of the presentation mode, simply double click again. And then navigate again down to change layout, choose the mount, left click on OK. This concludes our video tutorial on changing format. You should now be able to utilize the change layout feature for modalities including panorama, cephalometric, intraoral sensor, as well as intraoral camera. Thank you.